All right, and we are on. This is great. It's so nice. We actually figured it out. Well, I actually figured it out.
All you, man. All you.
But it's still so nice to be live on YouTube. It's so nice to be back. Welcome to a little special edition of Top Rope Wrestling Talk Live. The dynamic duo Wendy and I are back to just talk a few things. If we get any questions in this live feed, we'll be happy to answer them. We're gonna do our part to make sure that you guys are entertained for a little bit, and to make sure that this actually works when we go full on like live on Thursday. And if you don't know why, we will get into
Thursday,
that as well.
yeah.
But in the meantime, Grandma Wendy had a pretty cool. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun. Cart, horse.
Oh,
I wanted to just skip the intro and just lead in with a nice little joke from AEW Dark for anybody that was watching. Um, a luchador walks into a bar. The bartender says to him, "Hey, buddy, why the long face?" The luchador responds, "I'm Serpentico. That's why. I'll be here all night." Now that that's out of the way, Grandma Wendy had a very very interesting run-in with a very very interesting woman in wrestling on Twitter. Do you care to
I don't
explain?
know if it was interesting.
I thought it was
It was. It
interesting
was.
as hell.
I thought it was dumb, but I mean, so it all started with Robbie Hardy posting something about some place called the Copacabana, and she was like, "Oh no, it's closing. It's where I had my first prom," and I was like, "First prom? How many proms did you?" Because it doesn't make sense to have like multiple proms. Sorry, my phone apparently has low battery. I should have taken care of that sooner. My bad.
Ruh-roh.
Um, and so I was like, well, how many prompts did you have? And I had to be honest, like, I'm not being judgmental. I'm just curious. That's all. Because I'm nosy. I'm nosy.
Right.
Grandma's nosy. She can't help herself, And
I have an
apparently she
inquiring
had,
mind.
yeah, exactly. She actually responded back and she said she had like two prompts. One was hers and one was like some dates that took her out or something like that. I don't remember. But it was
Oh,
cool that
like
she took the
she
time
had
to
her
actually
own, and
respond
then
back.
somebody
And
took her.
yeah, like the first one that she went to was somebody else's prom that she went to. Um,
Right.
and then like the next year it was like her prom, which
Oh.
was, yeah, yeah. And I was like, thanks for answering. I appreciate that she took the time. I mean, she's busy homeschooling the new Hardy Boys and doing all of that and making more Hardy Boys. And, like, so I appreciate her taking the time to actually answer.
Right. How many broken children are we gonna have running around in this world by the time?
Seriously.
I wonder. Yeah, I guess Rebby has more kids than proms by now, so that's good. Some people can't say that.
Well,
You're
she had two proms and she's got three kids, so technically you're right.
Yeah. I mean that
You're not wrong.
that makes you a unicorn, Rebby Hardy. You have no idea. Oh man,
In
yeah.
my book, she's a pretty. I like her. Somebody
No,
tweeted
I
out to
like.
Matt Hardy like, why doesn't he defend his wife more? And he was like, because I don't need to. She can do it on her own. Like,
Right.
oh, what's
Like
going on? What's going
there's.
on? You got like serious business face.
Oh no, no, no. I was just checking for questions because I got the live feed up here in the corner.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
wait a minute, and no, not yet. We've only been on for a minute or two, so
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's
no.
fine.
Matt Hardy does not need to defend Rebby Hardy. That woman,
Mm-mm.
mm, she's got a backbone and a mouth, and I can see why you have all those kids with her. Because damn, that's a good woman right there.
She's a spitfire in her own right. Like, she doesn't take anything from anybody.
No,
And
not
I
at all.
appreciate her. I appreciate her honesty though. Like some people, like she has all the kids and everything, and a lot of famous people like post the perfect life and everything. But she's honest about like what happens in her life with her kids and the whole being a mom and everything. So I appreciate that about her.
Yeah, I agree with that. She's definitely a pretty awesome
You're
mom.
getting a very subdued Grandma Wendy. She's sleepy today.
Aw. Where's the coffee when we need it? No,
Right?
you're cool
Like the
though.
coffee I had earlier wore off. I had a
Oh,
huge thing of like iced coffee too, and I was just like, ah, and now I'm like, oh my
now you're
god, the
crashing.
crash
Just
is taking place.
no. Where,
Hmm.
why? More coffee? No, crash, burn.
At least
I,
it's not Thursday.
I'm Jeff Hardy diving off a ladder and my opponent's already moved. No, crunch.
No,
I'm
I'm Darby
Darby on
Allen
a
flying off a
skateboard.
ladder on a skateboard.
No, crunch.
Bro, that was so ridiculous. I was like, what were you thinking? Oh my
Oh my God.
god.
I was kind of was half hoping it was going to work, but then I was afraid if he landed on somebody with a skateboard and him from that height, like, would it fuck them up? Because I never seen it happen. So I was like,
My thought was best case scenario, duty lands on, poops his pants.
right,
Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, someone's dying.
someone's dead. Yeah, no, when Darby hit, I thought that's it. He's got no knees. He's not getting up.
Yep. Yep. I
Because
was like, that's it.
all that impact, the ladder, the skateboard, the floor, all on his knees. And as a man
Mm.
with a rebuilt, completely rebuilt right knee, I know it's like there go all your ligaments, homie. And yet he got up. I was like, how is this motherfucker walking? He ain't got no
Yep.
knees.
Yep.
Oh, it was terrible. Like so tough. But
What
at
did
the
they say
same
about
time,
children? Like they just rebound?
yes, they just take the worst fall you've ever seen in
Yeah.
life that would break every bone in your body, and they just jump right back up and run away like it didn't even happen, laughing. And you're like, wait, that how come I ended up on like in the emergency room when I stubbed my toe? Like that's not cool.
Like I sneezed a little hard and it hurt my sciatica, and here you are. Your knees should be broken, friend. Like
Right,
what?
right. Like cat, like literally, my wife stayed home today because she tried to pick my son up and her sciatica acted up. Just down I go. And all she did was try to like bring her son from the floor to the bed to give him a hug.
Oh man, I've been there,
Happens
sister
all the
girl.
time. It was just this
I've been
morning. It
there.
was like, not today. Meanwhile, here comes Darby. Just, oh no, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good. How the
That's
hell are
that's
you
the magic of
good?
youth, man.
I guess. I guess I was not that resilient at that age. I'm not even gonna lie. uh, he's the Highlander or something. Like there can be only one, and that one is Darby Allen. I
I
mean,
don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how to
what he is.
explain it,
I don't know what he is.
but
Right?
honestly,
It's ridiculous.
we had like a couple of like button topics in our top rope on Facebook this morning that I wanted to get into before we end this and try to see how it went because it's all just a test of the Fox Den broadcast system. And the first one was, oh man, the crowd last night at Raw, the PC trainees, kind of like Deadpool and X-Men.
Oh, that was so terrible. The
Yeah,
trainees, the trainees. Like, oh, we get it.
we're the performance center trainees. I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it. And the way that went, just the way they reacted, the glass around the ring
Like
apron,
I
the
understood
crowd.
the plexiglass. It was kind of strange, but I understood it. But at the same time, I think what bothered me most was the reflectiveness of it.
Yeah,
And you couldn't really see the audience.
and then the biggest thing about the glass was like you can put it there, and I'm sure if you have fans eventually and all that, it will be some form of protection and it will be a little bit reflective, but you understand considering the circumstances. Last night didn't make a whole lot of sense,
Mm-hmm.
especially by the end of Raw when Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley are just going after one another, and all the trainees are running out from behind the glass to stop Drew and Bobby and separate them. It's like, okay, if you were trying to keep
Oh,
them
that was his
safe,
circle.
why are they now all in the ring? That doesn't make any sense. Like, either you're keeping them safe or you don't need it, but you can't just have them run out from behind the plexiglass wall to stop two people in the ring that are fighting. Like,
Have like 10 on either side too. It was like, what?
right. It started out with a couple, and Drew and Bobby like destroyed them in seconds. And then the ref is calling the rest of them in, and there's just like tens of people running in and grabbing at Drew McIntyre and everything. There were some good people in the crowd. Like I saw Shotzi, even the man formerly known as Stokely Hathaway was up in the crowd, like Uncle Stokely and his tag team.
Uncle Stokely. Oh, what is he?
What up?
Malcolm Bivens.
Malcolm Bivens, yes.
Yes,
The,
yes.
the man who founded Belle Biv DeVoe and Boys to Men. Oh no, that was Michael
Yes.
Bivens. My bad. I always get those two mixed up. But yeah, it was cool to see him in the crowd with those big monsters Indian dudes that he's now
Yes.
backing and singing something. I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember their names.
I can't remember.
I just know they're big. They're freaking huge.
Yeah, the big dudes.
Big Indian dudes, man. Just big. If you can remember, leave the comment in the live stream and we'll go with
Please
it.
do, because I can't remember for the life
Or
of me.
I could just say funny names only and you could just, but keep it classy. Yeah, I didn't mind the crowd. I didn't mind wrestlers in the crowd, but I think you had posted something in group this morning where it was like a tweet from somebody else, and it was saying how it felt like they were just told before the show started to go out and like cheer for all the faces, boo.
Yeah, like they were. It
like,
felt
do
like
all
they
the
were
special dances, like they were doing the Oscar dance in the crowd,
Yeah, like it felt like they were cued. Like, oh, here comes Asuka and dance, and here comes Natty and cheer. Here comes Naya and boo, and it felt like cued. It didn't
cute?
feel natural like AEW does.
I love how while we're talking,
And I'm not.
while we're talking, I'm getting an email in the corner of my screen, like a notification saying, "You're now live on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yes,
got
I
it.
am.
Pretty sure I knew.
Thank you.
Thanks."
You don't say.
I'm sorry. See, we were saying about the crowds. That just messed me up.
Yes. Oh, what were? Oh, yeah. No, it didn't have an organic feel.
No, it didn't.
And even no, and not to compare the two, but I mean it's gonna happen anyways. I mean, at least with AEW, it doesn't feel that way.
Oh, so we're not supposed to compare the company they took the idea from in the first place? And
no, not at all. No.
Like, I'm not saying it was exactly like AEW's, but where else did they get it? Who else was doing it?
Honestly.
AEW was doing it, and it felt, as you said, very organic, very natural.
Organic.
You had guys like gambling in the crowd and drinking, and doing whatever. But then when it came to WWE, it just felt very generic, very kind of WWE. Just
it felt like
it was like
audience laughter.
They handed the wrestlers their scripts, like, here's what you're going to say and do tonight, and then they went to the PC trainees and they were like, here are your scripts for being in the crowd, and here's the shirt we picked out for you and everything, and here's $75, go.
Yes.
It didn't feel the same as the company that they got it from.
But
right, here's $75, go get your fan on the way we tell you to.
Exactly.
Oh wait,
that's what
you're gonna be involved in the whole Drew and Bobby thing, so you get an extra $20. Go. That sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the exact prices. I'm just guessing.
At least it wasn't a stale hot dog and a flat Coke, though.
Now, all that being true, very true. Ew. If anybody's ever eaten a stale hot dog, it's like there's no point. That hot dog isn't that good to begin with. If it gets stale, throw it out. But yeah, I mean, it just felt it felt different, but at the same time, I was actually kind of into the fact that WWE had a crowd.
Yeah, at least they had an audience.
Get involved, and they were chanting, and the show seemed more interesting either because of it or the way they were going with it. I don't know, maybe a little bit of both. Not saying it was perfect,
Mhm.
not saying it was better than anything else. Just saying it did make the show a little bit more interesting. I definitely understood the glass, even though it
Yeah.
just still felt like like if I just kind of squinted, it felt like I was watching a hockey game because there's all this glass around the ring and it's white and people are fighting. You're just like waiting for hockey players to just drop the gloves and like pull shirts over the head. So that
Just
felt a
jump in
little
there.
weird.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Not
much.
gonna lie, that felt a little odd.
Just a little bit.
But
Like I think if they'd have gone that route from the beginning, it we would have been used to it by now, and we wouldn't be comparing the two promotions. But you jumped on that train a little late, so of course you're gonna get the comparison
right, it's like Dynamite had pretty much been using wrestlers in the crowd from the minute they came back,
from the
where
get go.
WWE was here's a match, and then we're going to show you something you can see on the WWE network, and then maybe here's an interview, and then here's another match you could see on the WWE network, and then maybe another match, and it was quite boring to be honest, because like
Or it was terrible segments too. It wasn't just that, but it
that
would be
too
like terrible segments where it was like, we're gonna interview the most boring wrestler
ever,
ever.
you
Tell
know.
us what you pick the shortest interviewer and talk to the most boring tall person. It
If
was
they're,
it was bad.
I gotta tell you, if they're looking for the shortest interview, you got a chance. So
I do. I really do. 5 feet, I could definitely do it. I'll borrow those heels from Selena and everything.
no, that'll make you too tall. You got to be little. You got to be like jumping to get
Oh
the
no, I
mic
gotta
near
stay
their
down. I
mouth.
gotta stay down. I gotta wear flats. Right,
Right,
right. I gotta wear
right.
my flats.
Those yellow sunny Crocs of yours. No, because they got heels. Something else. Flip flops.
Yes, yes. Those are my platforms.
Drew. Oh, damn it, my arm. But I did enjoy it a lot more with a crowd. It just again, it seemed
That was
like
my stepper.
AEW has done it from the very beginning. While WWE did things a certain way, and then when people obviously didn't like that, they tried to come back with something a little different. And from there, they decided, okay, let's just put people in the crowd. Seems to be working elsewhere. Only we're going to do it our way. And it's like, okay, better, better. But still, like you got to stop like just taking that organic or that feel of like anything could happen element out of the show. Like when somebody comes out, I know what they're going to say. Or I know what the fake crowd is going to do when that person's coming down the ramp. When that person cuts a promo, I practically know what they're going to say and how they're going to end it, because it's just over and over, over. You could have like a soundboard like mine and just hit it, and you get every promo. You get these hands, yowie wowie,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like my soundboard does that. We don't
It
need.
almost feels like
I mean, me and my
like those promos.
soundboard. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, those those promos feel like the one Allison Kay did for the Carneyland, the promos 101.
Yes.
That whole skit. Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like. And just
Oh yeah.
get really close.
Yeah. And I'm gonna shout for no reason. And I'm gonna get in the camera and whisper. Do we fade to black or do I walk
Or
off?
do I walk off? Those are the only two endings I know.
I don't know any of the endings. So what are we supposed to do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, yeah, it felt so. Everything is like me live on YouTube to tens of maybe dozens of people with my soundboard in the background every now and then is one thing. Being on nationally televised TV in a billion-dollar company using my soundboard as your promo, it just doesn't really work that well.
No,
Like,
it
you're
was
gonna get these
very
hands.
lacking.
I'm the Messiah. Yowie wowie. Roar.
Okay.
Rest
Get
in
it.
peace. The end. Okay. Cool. Like it just feels,
Seriously.
you could obviously you could be doing
I mean,
more because you're trying to do more now. So just keep going with it, WWE.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
don't stop there. Open things up. Don't be afraid to be like actually creative, and maybe people will respect you for it. And maybe the competition won't get a leg up
They're
on you.
depending too much on like standard issue responses that they've created. And it's like, okay, well, we have person A and person B. Let's pull out their playbook that we've had since forever, you know.
Yeah, here's Charlotte's promo for tonight. All right, she's gonna talk about how she's the best ever, and then she's gonna say "woo" randomly and walk out. Like
Yeah, pretty
big
much.
big moment of silence first, because we got to make people think she's gonna say something else, and then "woo"
And then
walk
just
out.
come back and woo. It's like it's expected and it's blasé now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did enjoy the whole thing with the people in the crowd. I just thought again, it's like, oh, that's so WWE.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely felt like that. And it felt like oh, what am I looking for? Well, it felt generic is what it really
Yeah.
felt like, you know?
Yeah, that's what I said. Take what AEW did, kind of whitewash it a little bit, dial it back, bring it down, and then put it out.
Yeah.
Take all the suck the soul right out of it. Okay, now it's ready. Tell
It felt
everybody
like
what
what
they're
it
going to
was.
cheer. Tell everybody what they're going to wear. Tell everybody who they're going to boo, and then put them in the crowd.
Pretty much.
Okay. I mean, again, it was nice to see some of those people in the crowd, whether it be Uncle Stokely or Shotzi or even Xia Li, who I love. That part was cool, but
Yeah.
the show was definitely more interesting, and they're trying to, maybe start some new factions, feuds, this and that. I wish they would
A for
just.
effort.
Yeah, that's true. Gold Star. There you go, WWE.
Said it, I guess.
I mean,
Good job, kid.
I could live again. I'm hoping they will get over this whole Lana thing and just let Lashley and MVP do whatever.
Dude, what's up with the makeup? Like the weird bronze and the
like the sick
bra. I'm like,
tan.
girl, it looks like you've been rubbing your face on Lashley. Yeah, it looks bad. It just looks terrible. It just looks hella ratchet.
I don't know.
It looks like it reminds me of high school when you're not even high school, middle school, when girls were learning how to apply makeup and you would see like the line right here where like they picked the wrong shade of foundation. So they were like darker here, and
so
then
it'd be like
here was like pale.
It'd be like a real
that's what
dark shade, and then right here would be like all pale.
Yeah.
And the
You can see
neck
the
would
line.
be
Yep.
But the face would be like bronze.
It's just yeah.
And
That's
shiny
pretty much what
and
she
kind of
looked like last night.
cracking at the same time because they used too much. So it just yeah, that was Lana. I didn't get it.
Exactly what she looked like. Yep.
I didn't get it at
It
all.
looked so terrible. Whoever did her makeup last night set her up.
Yeah,
it was bad.
It looked atrocious. I'm not gonna.
Oh my god, that's an understatement. You're being very kind and generous, friend.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. It was bad.
It was rough.
It was very rough. It was.
So what's up with all her screaming when MVP was like, "No, we don't need to talk." She's like, "Ah!" I could do without all of that.
It's like she's some ratchet superhero, and that scream gets her costume. I don't know what that is.
I don't know about hero, more like super villain.
Okay, super villain works too. I like that better.
Like a low class C grade super villain.
No, I definitely like that better too. like a C.
She was a hero. Exactly.
She's like a great value super villain. Like I'm Lex Luthorine, great value villain. And over here is Magnet Guy.
Going up against marsupial dude. Oh man, poor girl. That poor girl. Can they just release her? Can she just go live her life or something?
Yeah, can they just pretty much release her so that like she can maybe go back to her husband and have him get her over like we've just started to notice now? Because everybody
Yes.
says it's the other way around, but now he's gone and she's on her own. Does it really look that way? I don't think so.
Just saying.
Because not like Lana's the
Mm.
hottest thing in wrestling and nobody's talking about Rusev. It's almost the other way around now. Everybody's like, where's Miro going? Where's Miro going? And people are like, well, what about Lana?
I'm sorry, who?
Wait, what? Oh,
I don't know her.
oh, that bitch. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That one.
That's what. Oh, her. Yeah, I don't really care.
Whatever with her. Whatever. Do
And
what
then
you want with her.
we had a mess of like NXT reports come flying in this afternoon too. One was that,
Oh yeah.
and I think we're gonna start with this one since Wendy is such a fan in so many ways. One was that the King of Bros himself, Matt Riddle, would be moving to the main roster. And when I saw this, I put the question out there. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you think Matt Riddle is ready for the main roster? And if they, if given the chance, should he even go at this point?
I mean, it would be cool to see him on the main roster. Still trying to think who would be a great rivalry for him right now, but I feel like he still has so much left to do at NXT. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him as NXT champion, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, that's true. They were too busy giving it to Adam Cole for a year. It slowed a lot of people down.
Adam Cole. Fucking kill me.
Oh, come on, but it's Adam Cole, baby.
I'm over it.
I'm done with Adam Cole. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't think he's ready. I think Matt Riddle could be good on the main roster, and depending on where he goes, like put him on Raw, and maybe have him, in a few matches with like Aleister Black or Buddy Murphy or something. Guys, because they're guys that at least he's semi-familiar with, having dealt with them in the past. SmackDown, I don't know. Like maybe he takes on the winner of the Intercontinental title tournament, whoever that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Which I kind of want either Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles to win that. Either one of them could bring back that prestige to the title.
I was kind of hoping Shinsuke took it back after all the calamity that ensued.
Oh yeah,
like Braun took it from him, and then they had the 3-on-1 match, and Sammy took it. It would have been nice to see Shinsuke take it back because I love that dude. I've loved that dude for many moons. So like long before NXT and WWE, I love that dude.
He was brilliant in New Japan. Brilliant.
Oh yeah, beyond brilliant. Like just oh my god.
The matches him and AJ had there were mind blowing. They were amazing. Yes, chef's kiss.
I mean,
brilliant.
he had a match with Brock Lesnar in his prime, and it was actually good.
Yeah. You mispronounced Bork.
Bork. I love how she took that from me and just made it her own. That's so beautiful.
Because it's funny. Oh my god.
Bork.
I never did like him anyways. I was never a big fan of him. I always thought he was overrated from the beginning.
Brock, when I'm mad, is Bork, and Roman turns into Ramen Reigns. I just when I'm mad, I'm not saying all the time. When I'm mad, it ends up like, fucking Bork, man. He got another title. He's just gonna go home for the next 3 months, and then they're gonna give Ramen a fucking shot after that.
Speaking of ramen, I was watching a movie on Netflix. What is it? Wrong Missy, and he's in it for like 5 minutes. Roman Reigns, but he's actually kind of funny in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have to check that out. Because the only movie I knew he was in was whatever that Fast movie was. I can't remember.
Oh, and he had like no lines in it. He just stood there like.
But he was in it. Was like
Reigns.
Yeah, he was in it with The Rock. And
yeah.
It might have even been the Hobbs and Shaw movie. I can't remember.
I think that's what it was. It was the Hobbs and Shaw.
The one with The Rock and Jason Statham and Idris Elba and all that. I know he was in it. I didn't see it. I didn't really want to. Like, I'm kind of over the whole Fast and Furious movies.
I watched it because it's like good brain dead, like just shut your brain off and watch shit explode kind of movie. But he was like in the first 5 or so minutes of Wrong Missy, and he was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I might have to check that out. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I
But
think
yeah,
it just came out on
considering
Netflix.
now we're over, considering she was just over here talking all this mess about Adam Cole, then the next report was that Adam Cole's contract is coming up and they're in negotiations, but they're not sure if they can re-sign him or not.
He's gonna resign.
I was gonna
He's
say,
just
could
gonna
you see him going any place that isn't NXT right now? Because
no.
obviously he's got a little bit of a significant other at another company, but
No, he's gonna sign his contract again with them, and at most or at least it'll probably be just a couple more months on NXT and then pull him up to the main roster.
you would think. I mean, Adam Cole is one of the very, very few people who has actually, played out an entire contract in WWE in NXT
And his whole ass time has been in NXT. And the thing is though, like
every
he
second.
actually is good. Like he actually is great. He can really
Oh
go,
yeah.
and he can definitely, like, he has the charisma, he has the talent, he has it all. I don't know if the main roster is the best place for him
Oh, what were we
because
saying? He has the charisma, uniqueness,
nerve and
nerve,
talent.
and talent.
But like a lot of the not so big guys, I hate to say it, but if you're not a huge guy, you're gonna get buried. And a lot of NXT champs have been buried
That's
in
why
the
I
main
don't
roster.
know. I don't know if Adam Cole got the opportunity to come up, or if that was like the whole group was like Triple H basically saying to Vince McMahon or whoever, like, no, you can't have these dudes. They're mine. Take
Yeah.
somebody else. Because I know he does that. I don't know if he ever got the opportunity to come up and maybe said no, or if Triple H heard somebody wanted him and said hell no. Either way, I think it was
Yeah.
probably the
Like
best
if you're
thing.
not gonna give him, yeah, like if they're not gonna give him the proper opportunity and the chances to showcase him, then why move him up to the main roster?
Right. I mean, more so like if you're just gonna move like what is now the greatest NXT champion or longest reigning at least up to a main roster and kind of turn him into a joke.
Yeah,
What's the
there's
point
no
of
point.
moving on? You already did that once with Finn Balor. Now you want to do it with Adam Cole?
Mm-hmm.
We saw how it worked out. Look at Finn Balor. Look at Adam Cole. Same
Yeah.
thing will happen.
Yep. Yep.
And he'll be back in NXT, a year later to talk about how he needs to, he needs to get undisputed again. That because they'll
I
give
need
him
to go
another
back to my
gimmick when
roots.
he gets up there, just like they did with
Yeah.
Finn Balor, and he'll come back and say, I need to go back to my roots and all this stuff. Like we've already seen this happen. Do we really need to see it happen again, or with Adam Cole, or the entire Undisputed era? Like you bring up that whole faction, you turn him into a joke, and then you send him back to NXT. That's just sad.
Then it's a waste of talent. It really is.
And
And
they already
that's
do that so
become,
much.
yeah, I was gonna say that's become the running pattern. Anyone that gets called up from NXT to the main roster, wasted time. It really is. I mean, look at Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet is an amazingly talented wrestler, and
Oh,
all the
superb.
insane high flying flips he can do. And what did they do? They clipped his wings and grounded him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're wasting him.
And even that tag team with Cedric Alexander had a little bit of promise, and the last few weeks they've just kind of like disappeared. Like they went out, crowd came in, life goes on.
Pretty much, yeah. And that was a great tag team. Those two were great together.
They really were. I know again, I know Bruce was like, oh, it's hodgepodge and everything, and it was a
But
little,
it worked.
but it worked out so well. And even when Ricochet was going to WWE, my first thought was like, I hope he's going to NXT. And when he did, my next thought was, I hope he stays in NXT, like Adam Cole did.
Yeah.
And then he got called up, and I was like, oh boy, this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And
Yep.
people, and there were still people that looked at me and went, "Wow, how did you know that?" I was like, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Drew, up until recently, Drew McIntyre. The list goes on and on and on, where I can just ramble off guys that were great in NXT and then got to that main
Yep.
roster, and you just never heard from them, never saw them, and when you did, they were a joke. I didn't want to
I
see
mean,
that
it's
happen to Ricochet. Unfortunately, it kind of did.
it's been the pattern so far, and it's been what's happened. And until we see something different, until we see otherwise, that's how it's always going to be, and that's how people are going to see it.
But again, I hate just being negative about about WWE or any place for that matter. So I do want to say congratulations, Apollo Crews. God damn it, that title win was like
Yes.
long overdue. I was so happy for him.
I was so hyped when I saw that. I was like,
Oh,
finally.
that might have been like the best part of Raw, was watching him come back and beat
Legit.
Andrade and take that US title from him. He was so genuinely happy about it, and I was so
Yeah.
genuinely happy for him. It was like, oh my god, how's this not happened until now?
I think everybody was, and it was like long, like you
Everybody,
said, long overdue.
everybody was. It was insane. Like there were people all over social media, people all over our threads, like, oh my god, this is great. I was like, I know, right?
Like this will probably be a great conversation for Thursday, but definitely like when he won it, when Kofi won the title, when Naomi won the women's title. I know when Naomi won it, I literally cried. I was like, yo,
Right.
that's
Like I
magic right there.
I almost I almost cried for Apollo and Kofi, because like they had just been at it, like Kofi especially. They had just been
Yeah,
at it for
absolutely.
years. And Kofi was deserving back in like the early days that Randy Orton talked about, with the stupid, literally the stupid vignettes that they had going on.
Yes, yes.
After Kofi beat Randy, all those years later, but that was like 9 years prior. And Kofi looked like he had the best of Randy Orton on a mic and in a ring 9 years before he won that title, and yet he
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
And 11 years later, he won it. And how many title reigns did Randy Orton have in between? Was it like 12 or 13 of them?
So many wasted title rings.
And you're just thinking like, okay, all of this for this man, but not Kofi? Really?
Yeah.
Or Bobby, or even Bobby Lashley, because I know like they made him out as a joke since he's been back, but when he came on the scene, the man was a monster. He was crushing everybody, like I putting Umaga through the side of a steel cage,
Yes.
being
I think
part
that's why
of like shaving. I think it was Vince McMahon's head with Donald Trump at WrestleMania, winning the actual ECW title when they brought it
yep.
back.
I think that's
He
why I
big fucking deal.
that's why I like him with MVP this time around as well. I mean,
I
yeah, it
love
was
it.
done before elsewhere, but here it's
I'm fine with
definitely
that.
working. Yeah, like it's definitely working because it's like he's bringing back that intensity and making people realize, like, okay, so you wanted to laugh when he had these crap ass storylines, but Lashley is legit and he can go hard.
Oh
Also, my
no,
phone's at 6%.
oh shit, he certainly is. So, congratulations, Apollo. We're so happy for you. And wow, since Wendy's phone is dying and we've been on for a minute, we had some other stuff to talk about. We're gonna skip it because if she's gonna die, I don't want to be here by myself. I don't like being alone. Puts pressure on
All
me. I have to be
by
entertaining.
myself.
Still don't want to be. Okay, so we want to thank anybody who actually watched this live. We didn't really tell anybody we were doing this. This was just kind of a test to see how things were going to go because, of course, on Thursday, we're going to be back at you. Hopefully, if this went well and everything looks good, we're going to be back at you Thursday around 8 p.m. live with Griff and Scorsese from Zip Squad.
What?
What?
My man Scorsese.
I know we're going to talk about. I mean, according to my man Scorsese, he says we're going to talk about quantum physics. Sorry, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
I got to brush
The
up on it.
the value of the euro in relation to British sterlings, and of course
Yes.
Steiner math.
Can't go wrong with Steiner math.
I got you on the Steiner math. The rest I got to bone up on. But no, seriously, we're gonna be talking about wrestling. We're gonna be talking about music. We're gonna be talking about who influenced them and what they.
We're gonna go deep, hard, and heavy.
We're gonna go deep, and we're gonna go hard. There's gonna be some conversation that maybe we wanted to happen, but hadn't happened yet, and they want to ask us a question.
It's gonna get real, y'all.
We probably haven't talked about. Most people don't talk about a lot, and I'm happy to answer it for them because they are nice enough to be our special guest Thursday night around 8 p.m. because this stuff takes a minute to get set up, get everybody on. Hopefully live on here. We will be back. We will be back with Griff and Scorsese, and we will ball the fuck out. The invasion begins. I'm psyched. I'm looking forward to defending this turf because I built this house and I ain't letting nobody come in and take my shit.
Hell no.
I'm from the streets too, god damn it.
I'm from the suburbs, but
I'm street enough for all four of us. All you gotta do is get my back. Just get my back. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said. We hard.
Just stay back there,
hard.
look tough.
Yeah.
Just stay back there, make a mean face.
Yeah. Be all angry. Be like, I'm gonna take my earrings off.
Right. Oh, hold my purse. Where's my razor? That's a good one. Where's my razor?
I don't know what that means, but we're doing it. What I never understood was the Vaseline when they're like, "Oh, I gotta rub the Vaseline." I'm like, okay, all right. I don't know why we're rubbing Vaseline, but all right, let's moisturize.
I don't want to get cut. Let me get my Vaseline on right quick.
Is that what it's for?
It mostly is like to prevent. Yeah.
I'm really showing how really white I am.
In theory, if you get hit and somebody's greased, the punch slips, so it doesn't make full, and also kind of stops like bleeding and
that
type of stuff. So
and now just how suburban I am and how lily white I grew up. So there you go.
I grew up around a boxing ring, so I saw this stuff all the time. And then people just started doing it in the streets, and it was like, okay, that's a little weird. I know why people do it in a fight, but not in a street fight. Like now you're getting a little too far.
Yeah, like I understood in the boxing ring because one of my uncles was a boxer. But outside of the boxing ring, I'm like, why are we moisturizing in the middle of a match? Like, I don't get this.
Principle. They want
in the middle of a street fight.
They want to try to keep from getting, really hit or busted open or whatever. So
that makes a lot of sense. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you for explaining. I appreciate that.
Again, I'm from the streets. I may not live on them anymore, but I'm from the street.
Oh, I don't know what the streets are. Oh no. Clutching my pearls.
I live in a gated community. Poor people.
Don't mention gated communities to me.
You'll
find out on Thursday.
Yeah,
you'll find out on Thursday.
You'll find out about that on Thursday too. But we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. It's just gonna be a great episode. We may even have some little things in the middle that's just gonna be too good to resist. So please, again, tune in to this YouTube channel live 8 p.m. Thursday. Griff and Scorsese invade, and we just go off. It's gonna be great, y'all. But for now. From Grandma Wendy, this is the Psycho saying thank you for watching. We'll catch you soon. And enjoy Dynamite. Enjoy Dynamite, y'all. Maybe Brian Cage will show up.
He's going to show up with this big old pink eye. What the hell was that?
And Taz. Taz!
With the orange towel, of course.
Such a great combo. But anyway, we will catch you soon. Enjoy Dynamite. We love y'all. Stay fresh, cheese bags. I don't know what to say. Peace.
Bye.